Why are you shouting at me, Debbie? I didn't say everyone's mortgage is 1k. I gave a rough estimate. But I would like people to comment and tell me how much their mortgage is, or how much their mortgage has gone up. But there's no need to shout, no need to cry. Just take a deep breath and relax.
Across the UK and Ireland, the cost of living crisis continues to bite hard in late 2025. From soaring rents in London averaging over £2,200 a month, to energy bills rising slightly to around £1,758 annually under the new price cap, households are feeling the squeeze. Inflation has eased to 3.2%, but prices for essentials like food, utilities, and housing remain stubbornly high. Ordinary people are sharing raw frustrations: skyrocketing mortgages, unaffordable groceries, and cramped rentals that make daily life a struggle. Here's what they're saying.
Electricity bills are going up in the new year. So we are currently paying one of the highest prices in Europe for electricity. However, we're being told the network needs to be updated, or the grid needs to be updated, and we are going to have to pay for it. Sinn Féin raised the point in the Dáil today, saying that people cannot afford even higher bills. It was a kick in the teeth enough that government decided to do away with all the energy credits, all the one-off bonuses, and now they announce that we're going to have to pay to update the grid. And we've only gone from being one of the cheapest countries in Europe for energy to the most expensive country in Europe for energy under Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael, because they privatised the network, just like they're doing to hospitals, just like they're doing to schools, and just like they're doing to housing. None of this is by accident. This is all by their design. It is such a shame we didn't vote for a new government last November.
I'm tired of defending my city, man. This has gone too far. £900. It's not even a studio. It's just a double bed, and they're telling you got a toilet around the corner. Look at this. It's by an agency in Croydon. In Croydon. Drawers don't even fit properly. They had to tilt it a little bit. There's barely any walking space from the right side. At this point, we have to riot, bro. We have to. There's nothing else we can do. This economy with these living standards, you're gonna slap £900, and I bet you any money someone's taking it. Someone's taking this. What the heck is studio bed? Wait a minute. What the heck is studio bed? Not studio flat or studio bed. They're making up new words. Honestly, I feel sorry for the young generation. They want you to get married. They want you to go and live your life. Show them this. Show them this one here and tell you what life is there to live. Yeah? Don't leave your mum's house. Don't leave your dad's house at all. That's all I'm telling you guys. Just stay put. But this is ridiculous. This is redonkulous. London. It's in my heart. I love this place. But London, what's going on, man?
You've heard the rumours. Life in London is hard. But is it true? Let's uncover the truth. The biggest struggle in London is housing. The average house price is around £556,000. That's more than double the UK average. Rent is worse. The average private rent is over £2,100 per month. Rent isn't the only thing that drains your wallet. Utilities alone can cost up to £250 a month. Public transport isn't cheap either. A monthly travel card runs from £150 up to £260, depending on your zone. And groceries? Budget £200 to £300 a month for the basics. The struggle is real for almost everyone. London data shows about 17% of Londoners struggle financially, and that includes lower income, minority, and young renters. Housing supply hasn't kept up with demand, forcing many people into cramped flats or shared houses. For anyone trying to save a deposit to buy a home, it is nearly impossible when most of your money vanishes into rent. Despite the enormous costs, London offers incredibly strong career potential, higher salaries, global businesses, and huge networking opportunities. To survive, you must be smart. Live outside the expensive central zones and budget like a professional. Visit ukcompass.com to find the best UK providers free of charge. Follow us for the latest tips and updates on navigating the UK economy smoothly.
How old are you?
60.
And what do you do for a living?
I'm a solicitor.
How much money would you say you spend in a typical month living in London?
2,500.
And how much of that is your rent?
I don't have rent.
Oh, you own your house outright?
I do.
How much money do you think someone would need to earn in a year to live comfortably in London?
About 60.
And can I ask roughly how much money you might earn in a year?
I'm on about 150.
Do you have any savings?
I do.
Can I ask roughly how much you might have in savings?
20,000.
So do you have some of your money invested then?
Oh, yeah.
I often hear that investing is only for people that are already rich. Would you say that's true?
Not at all. I started investing 35 years ago by just putting aside £20 a month out of my salary into an account, and then eventually I'm a millionaire.
Do you think if you'd been taught about finances or investing from a younger age, you'd be more financially comfortable now?
Yes, because I picked up as I go along because of my job. I didn't have any knowledge of it before I started working.
If you had one piece of advice to give anyone watching, what would it be?
Start saving early, even if it's a small amount on a monthly basis.
What is going on with the cost of living? Please, can someone tell me when it's going to end? Everything keeps going up. Water, gas, electric, utility bills. Just everything is going up. Even the food. Years ago, you used to be able to buy a spaghetti bolognese, do it cheap, probably a few quid, happy days. Now, mince is £7.50 before you even counter any of the other ingredients. The price of chocolate has gone sky high. If you go to your local supermarket and look at chocolate, it used to be probably, £3-4. It's gone up to £7-8 for chocolate. Everything, cheese behind counters because people are stealing cheese because it's so expensive. Like, what is going on? Why are people stealing cheese, for God's sake? Utility bills going up by £20-30 a pop. Which doesn't sound like a lot, but when all your bills go up by £20-30 a pop every year, before you know it, your bills have gone up, within 1 year, £100-200. And that's happening every year. When is the cost of living going to start evening out or get a bit easier? Because it's crippling. It's absolutely crippling. I just don't get when it's going to end. It just seems to never end. And it's just going to go up and up. And in 10 years' time, a grocery shop will cost you 500 quid. And that'll just be for some mincemeat, a bit of spaghetti, a bit of cheese. And before you know, you paid £500 for a bag of shopping. When does it stop? When will it stop? Please, someone tell me.
This is why people are mentally exhausted. Constantly doing maths in your head. You're constantly thinking, what if I get sick? I've got no sick pay. What if something breaks in the house and it's going to cost us money? What if? People have no spare cash. Your salary doesn't match the cost of living, which then means you can't save. You are stuck in a never-ending cycle. We need to bring the salaries up. It's that simple. People say, yeah, work harder. How can you work harder? People are taking second jobs. They're paying 40% tax on that second job. So there's no point working harder half the time. So look, people can say you make decisions, you can budget better. Of course, people can. But why should you? If you're working all of the hours, why shouldn't you reap some more rewards? Why should we all be living paycheck to paycheck just to pay for the basics that are now luxuries? And that's not right. Some people are genuinely struggling out there. They can't pay their gas, they can't pay their electric, they're living with £10 on the meter. Just look at the comments on some of my previous posts. There is support out there for people that are genuinely struggling. Please take a look in my bio. There might be some support in there that can help. You're not alone.
The UK's cost of living crisis is back in the spotlight. Just this week, new data showed inflation remains stubbornly high, keeping pressure on household budgets from groceries to energy bills. The government's response? Pointing to recent tax cuts while the Bank of England hints that interest rate relief might be delayed. Why does this matter? These trends could dictate the UK's economic recovery, influence consumer spending, and impact your savings. With a general election on the horizon and households feeling the pinch, this economic tug-of-war is only getting more intense. Stay tuned, because what's happening in Westminster could hit closer to home than you think.
Bhuailm an ceargé mother leis an costas marachtáil a ardú. Is gear céim é seo le tionchar de gachtainna san Eorop, cad é an laias ar seo. Aragad a chur is servisi, paibli, ar nos curm lani, curm sláinte, idicish, agus níos mó. Ba chur cosc ar brabútaíocht a chur I bhaim. Tá cólachtaí letricus ag déanamh brabús olvar agus chaili ag strácult a cuid bilia Aíoc. Colleagues, the question I'm often asked about this cost of living crisis is what exactly is the EU doing to address it? The answer, unfortunately, cutting back vital EU programmes to the benefit of the arms industry, which won't help anyone pay their bills this Christmas. I'd like to also raise a particularly heartless decision recently by the Irish Government to cut funding for blister packs. And while this seems to be paused due to the public outrage, these packs are for our most vulnerable, and it shows that in times of austerity and when governments opt for austerity, it is the most vulnerable who suffer.
These voices, from exasperated renters in Croydon to worried families tracking every penny, paint a clear picture. The cost of living crisis isn't over. Mental exhaustion, calls for higher wages, and pleas for relief highlight a shared struggle amid persistent high costs. While some find hope in long-term saving or policy changes, many feel trapped in a cycle of paycheck-to-paycheck living. As we head into 2026, the pressure on household budgets shows no signs of letting up soon.